Guys, welcome back to the Footie Social Club. Matt joins me for Burnley versus Arsenal match preview. Little look at what the potential team's going to look like, and obviously a score prediction at the end. Matt, we go into the end of October, the beginning of November. Arsenal top of the league, through in the League Cup into a favourable draw in the quarterfinals. Take nothing away from Crystal Palace, but another home tie, sitting pretty in the Champions League as well, mate. Life is good as a Gooner at the moment, is it not?
It depends how you look at it, mate. It looks good from where we sit perspective, yeah, but I've got a few question marks over some things. We'll get to that.
Well, I mean, mate, when we're talking about the fact that we're top of the league, we've got a nice cushion over the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. With the greatest respect to the likes of, Sunderland and Bournemouth, they're not going to be there at the start of the season. If someone has said to me going towards November, you'd be top of the league with roughly a 6-point gap over your nearest so-called Premier League title contenders, I would absolutely take it. The next two games as well, Matt, feel as if they're going to be quite big in the season for Arsenal. Burnley this weekend, we're going to talk about that. Sunderland following the Burnley game. They've had a great start to life back in the Premier League. Liverpool have got two huge fixtures in that time frame, as have Manchester City. Liverpool Villa this weekend. They're going to have to react to the Arsenal game as a City. And then City and Liverpool play each other next weekend. City themselves are at home to Bournemouth this weekend. Real cat amongst the pigeons for those two teams. What's your thoughts on the next sort of 2 weeks from an Arsenal perspective?
I think they're two crucial wins, mate. Like, if we're being fair, Dinkin, Burnley should be an easy win for us, a relatively easy win. Sunderland will be tough. It will, but I think we should get the money there as well. But I think from leading the table and looking towards winning the title this year, if we get there, very crucial that when we have Liverpool and City having two difficult games in that same period, that we put the pressure on them and take away 6 points from these two games. There's a massive potential for both of those teams to drop serious points in the next two games. Yeah. And if we want to be genuine title contenders, we have to walk away with 6 points. I don't even think 4 points is enough. Like, we should comfortably beat Burnley, and we should get the money against Sunderland and really put the heat, especially on Liverpool because they're so far behind now, but apply more to City and make them have to, bust ass to get points back up on us.
It's a nice position for Arsenal to find themselves in, not being so-called, TV-worthy games. Arsenal are playing before Liverpool and Manchester City both times in both game week 10
which is good.
And 11. It's huge for Arsenal. That's huge because we've talked about mentality in the past. We've talked about the fact that Arsenal might buckle under pressure. At the moment, and when you talk about chances of winning leagues, it's very favourable for Arsenal at the moment. We've had a tough start to the season. We've played the likes of United and Liverpool and Manchester City. We've had Newcastle away. I think we are 10 points better off against the teams we've played this season than in the same results last season. That says something. What do you take of the mentality of Arsenal at the moment? Where do you see it compared to the last 2 or 3 seasons?
Like, if we're being honest, mate, I think like the mentality of us letting seasons slip probably disappeared 2 or 3 seasons ago. Like 2 seasons ago, mate, we just got pipped by City at the post. And I don't think that was a mentality issue. I think City were just a better team and we took them right to the wire. Like, and to lose to that City side at that time in the form they were in, five titles in a row, mate, like, and a Champions League, that's no shortcomings on our end at all, mate. We just got beaten. Liverpool last season was probably a letdown because we saw City fall off a cliff, so to speak, and it should have been ours. Like, in retrospect, we should have been the favourites. We were the favourites when they started falling off the cliff, but Liverpool were red hot and they got there. New manager bounce, different ideas. Maybe players that now are looking a little bit on older legs. He squeezed the juice out of them for the last time last season.
I feel that's where the pressure was there last year, Matt, in the terms of when it was Arsenal's to go and win last season. That, for me, is where they didn't handle the pressure. I'm not saying Arteta, but as a squad, yes, injuries. I don't like to harp on about injuries, but as a squad here, I don't think they handled the pressure and obviously Liverpool ran away with it. It was a non-contested Premier League, in all honesty, last season. I agree with you in regards to the next two games. They must be 6-point games. They really, really must be 6-point games, because if you said at the start of the season you've got two promoted teams back to back, you'll be instantly going 6 points. Now, Sunderland is a different kettle of fish, because look,
they're going to be tough.
They beat Chelsea away last week. They've had a great start to the season. Granit Xhaka theory, in terms of the midfield general. Lebris, an unknown in this country, has had a phenomenal start to life as manager in the Premier League. Will they fall off? Possibly. Burnley, we know what Burnley are going to be like. They're going to create some chances against Arsenal. I think they've scored in every home Premier League game this season, bar the Liverpool game, which they lost very late on 1-0. I've actually been impressed with Scott Parker this time around in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been a critic of Scott Parker, and I mean, he's had his he's had his good and bad traits, over the few seasons where he's been manager. But I think he's probably learnt lessons from the last time he was up here. All good managers learn from mistakes, mate. And I think now he's got a side that he's been there, I think, 2-3 seasons now at Burnley, and he understands the team, understands the players, he understands the Premier League too. He's been up, been back down. He's probably getting a better trick out of him now with the experience that he's got, and we're seeing that come across in the team that he plays with. He knows he's restricted, financially, talent wise, and all that, but he just seems to know how to get the best out of what he's got, which is what we expected, but we don't really expect much from Burnley come into the season, if we're being fair.
Yeah, correct. I don't see them staying up, but I expect them to make it difficult for Arsenal.
It'll be tough.
This is one of those games where, and I'll come to my prediction at the end, but I expect the physicality of Burnley, to be a good contest for Arsenal across the back line. We'll come to those. We'll come to those predictions for the lineup very shortly, as well as some injury news in relation to Saliba. And as well, guys, if you like predictions, make sure you check out the Footie Social Club for match predictions right across the Premier League, and also our live shows every Friday, 10:30 UK time. Make sure you check us out for all of those as well. I think it's a tough one, but I think, much like the last few weeks, Matt, where we've said, Arsenal need to go and get results here, the likes of a West Ham, the likes of a Palace. This is just another one where if the mentality is right, the quality is there.
Yeah, look, I'm going to touch on something that I think, has been talked about a lot, but I want to come at it from a different angle, which is, everyone keeps talking about how deadly we are from set pieces, yet how boring the football is, right? I think where we sit as a football team at the moment is that we just haven't found our spark in attack.
Mm-hmm.
It'll come, and when it does, we know what we can do in attack when it comes.
Question for you going through that. I want to break that down with you. Do you think Arsenal miss Martin Ødegaard at all?
Look, I think there's things about what he brings to the side that they definitely do miss, but I think there's things that Eze brings as well that Ødegaard doesn't to some extent. Eze, it seems to be a bit more of a trickier style player. He tends to move a bit differently to Ødegaard in the final third, in the attacking third, where he's more of a threat. Whereas Ødegaard seems to be a bit more industrious when he gets up there. He doesn't want to make mistakes, which I actually think is more of a managerial thing to me. I think that's just the way Arsenal's been trained up or drummed in their heads by Arteta, that we need to play a mistake-free football. That's first priority. Defend mistake-free. Hold the ball, apply the pressure, turn the screws. Right? And I think somehow in that, I think Ødegaard over probably the past 3 or 4 seasons has kind of gone away from being that natural 10 and being, I just need to be the industrious player that I am, right?
Yeah. Go back to your attacking point of view in terms of set pieces.
Okay, so with the set pieces, mate, I think, and like everyone keeps knocking us for this, thinking it's this boring thing. I think what it is Arteta's looked at the last 2 seasons and gone, how many games have we drawn that we should have got results? And how do we change that? Well, I'll tell you what, I watched an interview with the guy, and they're saying they put 3 to 4 hours a week just into set piece work on the training field, whereas most teams might do, half an hour here or there, right? That tells me that he's searching for ways to to beat those low block teams where we drop points.
I agree.
And as boring as shit as it may be watching it, it's delivering 3 points.
Yeah,
And that's
I agree
all
totally.
that matters, mate.
I agree totally.
And you know what? Like, I'm happy if we're going to a team that we know, like Crystal Palace is a great example, right? We know that's going to be a tough outing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Crystal Palace are not the type of team to sit behind the ball. They'll come at you, but they're so defensively sound and so well drilled from Glasner that you know it's going to be a difficult day at the office. So
football's changing again. We're in transition.
Football's
Matt.
changing
long
again,
ball,
mate.
direct ball, long throws, corners. It's changing. Arsenal and Arteta, I think you're right, in the last few seasons now, Arsenal are the best at it because they've now been working at it behind the scenes for the longest. Look at the types of players that have come in. Hincapié, aggressive. Mosquera, aggressive, big, tall. Saliba, that. Gabriel, that. Calafiori, not your typical left back. Not necessarily big and strong, but also I feel he's quite direct. He is a goal threat in the opposition box. The break from the norm is probably Jurrien Timber, although I think he's the best right back in the Premier League at the moment. I've got the people that criticise. It's not about not knowing football. It's purely about just moving with the times. Let's go on to the predicted lineup. And obviously, in goal, David Raya, no doubts, phenomenal for Arsenal. Continues to go from strength to strength. And it's good that we have Kepa, who's able to come in, played well in the Brighton game.
Outstanding against Brighton.
Thought he was really
top
good.
shelf saves.
And the important thing is it gives Raya a mental break out of the game in order for games like this. Right back, Jurrien Timber. I love Benny White. I do love Benny White. Jurrien Timber, as I said a moment ago, is the best right back in the Premier League. How unlucky is Benny White, do you think? Do you think he'll... Because Arteta talked about him this week, how much he loves Ben White. He played during the week as well. He offers something different to Jurrien Timber with how he is with the ball. In a nutshell, what's your thoughts with the future of Ben?
I think Ben's happy to stay. There's been talk that Ben might look to move and stuff like that. And like, if I'm going to be honest, right, with the amount of depth in quality we've got in the squad, I don't know how Arteta sells it to players, but geez, he does a good job, mate. Like, these players know they're coming in and they're not guaranteed a spot.
Mm-hmm. That's healthy for squads. That's healthy. That's what you want. And the big squads that win are used to that, Matt. Let's go with the centre halves. Saliba is a late fitness
questionable
test. If not, Mosquera steps in. Gabriel, I think, will be massively important as a centre half. He will play. And then it's a toss-up between Calafiori, Lewis Skelly. Calafiori's been excellent, hasn't he? And it's harsh on Miles Lewis Skelly, but Calafiori's been excellent.
I think I think he has a best 11 for the Premier League. And I think Calafiori, the physicality of the Premier League, and we spoke about before with Burnley being a physical side, it'll be Calafiori.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against Miles Lewis Skelly. Like, Miles Lewis Skelly is outstanding. I think he has endless potential at left fullback for me. I really do. We've spoke, last season, he could be the next Ashley Cole.
He could, but he's probably got to up his game a little bit for me as well at the moment.
100%.
Because I think Calafiori's taking it up a level. If I'm honest, let's go on to the midfield, Matt. Declan Rice picks himself. He's Arsenal's best player. Do you think Zubimendi plays?
100%, mate. I disagree with you about Rice picks himself. I think Zubimendi picks himself, mate. He has absolutely been outstanding in the last few games. Arguably our best player.
So Zubimendi and Rice in the 2, and then does that put Eze in the 10? I prefer that as a formation, the 4-2-3-1, in all honesty. Saka to start on the right, scored obviously midweek, came off the bench. Do you expect Trossard to start on the left?
Yep.
You do?
I think
it's been consistent.
There's an injury cloud. Sorry, mate.
He's been consistent, Leandro Trossard.
He's been consistent, but this is where I talked about the attack, mate. Like, he's been consistently just consistent. He hasn't offered much in attack.
Good. I think he's been consistently good. Gyökeres up top.
Yep.
Final words on him. I think he's been different in the last few games. Needs Premier League goals. Definitely does need Premier League goals. But he's work rate, and we don't want to go down the same route as Kai Havertz, I know, but his work rate is definitely helping those around him. But it is just a case of, can he bag himself a goal every other game?
Well, he needs a supply line, mate.
I feel he's getting a supply line. He's getting
Oh
chances.
no, God no, mate. No, come on. Let's be serious, mate. Like,
well, I am being serious.
I totally disagree with that. I don't think he's getting anywhere near the ball that he needs. How many times a game do you see a ball whipped into the box to him? Very rarely.
But it's not the way Arsenal play.
Yeah, but that's the way to get the best out of him. And we're not doing that. And even on the break, when he's trying to roll off people's shoulders, we're not looking to play him through the lines, mate. We're looking to play it out wide and play that possession-based football. And yeah, he runs his socks off great in the press and all of that, and he sucks defenders out. But at some point, you've got to try and get the ball to his feet and make him let him do something with it. We don't get it to him enough in those positions. And it's, I'm not knocking the guy because I think he works his ass off. I really do. But from an attacking perspective and a goal perspective, you have to get him the ball in the right areas so he can be productive. And I don't think we do that enough. I really don't.
Fair enough. What's your score prediction for the game?
I'm going to go 2-0. I think it'll be a tough 2-0. Burnley will be physical. They'll be tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll get it 2-0.
1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm going with the old 1-0 classic. To the
Arsenal. I just love to see just get 2 goals so we can break that.
Declan Rice with the goal is what I think, and 1-0 to the Arsenal. Guys, let us know your thoughts down in the comments, how you see the Burnley game. Is this as big as what me and Matt are talking about, the fact that Arsenal need to try and take 6 points given what Liverpool and Manchester City's fixtures are in the coming weeks? Let us know whether you agree with our team prediction as well. Yes, it's probably very, very predictable given that Arteta seems to have a preferred Premier League team. But let us know if you'd make any changes to that given what you saw maybe against Brighton at the weekend. If you've enjoyed today's video, you want to see more of us, make sure you drop a like on this video and make sure you are subscribing to the Footie Social Club. Big thank you to those that have helped us just hit the 13,000 subscriber count. Guys,
big.
Fingers crossed, Arsenal can take all 3 points, get Burnley back on the road of losing games. I will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Matt.
See you guys.